What up, people? It's your boy, Master Trudy, out here with another animated film review. So, they always say third time's the charm. And here we have Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind. And I have to say, of the three, this one is definitely the best. And I know in my other reviews I may have been very kind to the first two, simply because I like seeing Mortal Kombat animated. But, you know, definitely those who are more entrenched in the lore know more about it. The Forest Snake being one of them, and of course, many people and Sonic Ha, many of them had very negative remarks and reviews about the previous two Legends films, and looking back at it, they were pretty much right. They did lack a lot. However, in this case, this film is different. It does a lot of things well. Definitely does a lot of things well. And I'm going to get into some spoilers into it, but to give you a brief synopsis of it, this apparently takes place a couple years after the events of the second film, and we're now focused on now pretty much the whole world is a wasteland. There is no outworld. There is Earth. This is all on Earthrealm, all destroyed. Outworld is not touched upon. There's barely any life. People have kind of reverted back to the old ways and whatnot. This you can essentially say that the wastelands look very much. It's pretty much Outworld again. But yeah, we get to focus on a lot of characters. Kano is now the big bad of the series, which I find odd because I think he was killed, but I guess he wasn't killed. So Jax didn't like bash his brain in. He just like knocked him out. Is what it is though. So pretty much, Kano rules basically the whole thing. And we also focus on Sub Zero, who has, retired. He's become pretty much a hermit, grows a hermit farmer, grows his crops, takes them to a town, and sells them, basically. Then we have Kenshi, who is a young guy who wants to become the best fighter in the world, basically, and he's looking for challenges. And so we see that also that basically Kenshi gets defeated by the Black Dragon. He wants more power. Shang Tsung, who is working for Kano, is sent by Kano to examine. Shang Tsung pretty much manipulates Kenshi into basically releasing the Well of Souls so that Shang Tsung can get his power back. And of course, through this betrayal, Kenshi loses his sight, which is quite gory in a way. And then Shang Tsung leaves him for dead. Um, in short, basically, Shang Tsung tries to go ahead and betray Kano, but of course, Kano, which I thought, I have to say, this is one area where my expectations were subverted. Um, you would think that Shang Tsung, the usual Kano's the jobber, yada yada yada, but no, Kano came well prepared and he ended Shang Tsung, killed him. So I thought that was pretty nice. But while left there, we see that Kenshi finds his sword Sento, and he's let out of that. He wanders about in the desert, and then he finds Sub Zero, pretty much. And Sub Zero pretty much trains him to become a better fighter to survive in Sub Zero's case. Um, and as the training goes forward, as more time passes, Kenshi begins to accept his limitations and make them a strength. But we see that later on, Kano finds one of these towns that were pretty much well hidden, takes it over. Kenshi can't stand by. He wants to do good. He sees honor in doing good, but Sub Zero, as explained at one point, sees himself as a danger to regular people and so refuses to fight. And, they come at odds. But then Kenshi goes in, tries to fight, takes down a lot of Black Dragon, but is ultimately defeated, taken prisoner. But then, Sub Zero comes in. Along with Scorpion, they go ahead, they defeat all the Black Dragon. And we find out that Kano, apparently, straight from MK11 in his ending, pretty much took over Chronic. I guess he beat Kronika. This is basically Kano's alternate ending from MK11. He basically came in, killed Kronika, took her crown, and then rewrote history through her hourglass in the sands of time. And he was about to get bored, and it's clear that Shang Tsung knew about it because in a door he wanted to open pretty much to get access to rewrite his image, but he was killed by Kano, as you know. So we pretty much have an effect that once that's figured out, Sub Zero and Kano fight as Kano's trying to rewrite history again, where he can be in control further, pretty much erasing Sub Zero and killing Kenshi himself and Scorpion. But of course, they fight. Very great fight. I'll get to that with my good and the bad of this film. And of course, Kano's defeated. And Kenshi asks Sub Zero, like, "Hey, okay, now that," and they of course destroy the entrance to the Kronika's hourglass, pretty much. So at the end of everything, Kenshi says, "Hey, we can go and we can rebuild the world. We can recruit more for the Lin Kuei." But Sub Zero's like, "Nah, I made a promise that I wouldn't use my powers again because I went out of control. I could feel it." And so pretty much Scorpion was his contingency plan. So Sub Zero decides to go to the Nether Realm and tells Kenshi that you are now the Lin Kuei. That is your legacy. Train people and continue that and change the world. And that's the end of that. And I think the way that it is, this could be the last film of the animated series because, man, I don't know where you can go from there because it's clear that the look from the original champions that Liu Kang and the rest of them might be dead. We do know that Raiden died in the second one, so the rest might also be dead. But let's look into the good and the bad of this film. The good um, was definitely Kenshi, and well, characters wise, these characters were good. Kenshi, of course, was great. I really liked how they decided to make him, a young upstart as opposed to the wise one that we get to see more in the games. But of course, his young upstartness pays homage to how he started also in the games and, his rivals with the Black Dragon or the Red Dragon in these cases. And we see how he humbles himself and how he trains and becomes a great warrior. We see his hero's journey. He was well done. He was a great fighter. Really liked his fighting style. It was great. The second one is Kano. Now, we've all seen Kano, not be capable. Always jobbed. But here we see a very cunning, intelligent, brutal Kano that has taken over. And, that's the one subversion of my expectations where I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. This is what we're talking about. Kano was well done in this thing. Kano was well done, no doubt. Sub Zero was also well done. His Survivors Guild, the change of his character, him being a mentor to Kenshi was all very good. He had some of the best dialogue in this film. Really one of my favorites. The other characters were pretty good as well. I thought Cabal was done very well. Tremor, of course, was done pretty well. Um, Another, which leads into another part that I liked about this film was, they're dipping into other characters. We leaned into a lot of the midway characters as well. Cobra, um, Cobra and Kira put into this thing. And of course, even though they aren't midways, we see them delving into a lot of forgotten Netherworld characters like Ferrator and Aaron Black and Tremor. So, it's nice to dig in to know that you have other characters that you can use as well, I mean, granted, and by the way, they were not jobbed out. They were not seriously jobbed out like the last movie, man. That that was not good at all whatsoever. I mean, one thing that you should never do. They weren't jobbed out like a reptile. They weren't jobbed out like trying to figure out who else am I forgetting. Yeah, let's see who else am I forgetting. Do 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 do. Sorry, you gotta forgive me about this. Hmm. All I know, sorry, forgive me. Pretty much, all I know is that they weren't getting jobbed out like they were like they were in the past. Pretty much like, oh, well, I could say Kung Lao and then also Smoke and then Striker. Yes, my bad. No, these guys from the midways held their own and they, lasted quite some time, so it was good to see them. Three was the story. I really liked it. It was pretty simple. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, granted, there were some problems which I'll get into with my bad, but overall, the story is pretty good. Lastly, the animation never fails. I think this one is the best in terms of animation, especially seen with the sword play and Kenshi's sight was well done. Really liked it. Excellent. Now we get up with the kind of the bad. I would have liked to see, and maybe this is a nitpick. I would have liked to see what happened, what's going on, how did this world come to be? Because we just see wasteland and destruction. We never know what happened, but I guess it is explained that Kano took Kronika's crown and rewrote time. So I guess that's been solved. Another problem I did have was like I would have liked to see how Kano did beat Kronika, because having Kronika's skull with the crown, which he didn't wear, it's quite interesting, and then having a door and a whole mechanism to allow you access to it. Would have been nice to have some information on, but we don't get that information. So that's one knock I have against that. But it is what it is. So in conclusion, this was a great film. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. This movie is definitely fixes a lot of the problems I think of the previous two. And I guess focusing not on all of the characters, but only a select few, being Kano, Sub Zero, and Kenshi, um, really allows you to do more with the story as well. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications to make sure you're notified. Comment down below and tell me what you thought of this movie. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Or are you kind of neutral on it? Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss films, animated films, to get your opinion on it. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope to have more videos out soon. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications again. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.